I was thinking Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
Who, Elton John? No, not Elton John, Johnny Depp. I'm getting my white people.
I do it all the time.
See, here's the thing. When people like, there's some like really white people where I'm like when I go to like some of my friends on Facebook that I went to school with, and they're like postcard fucking, like they got their sweater vest and all their kids are in there, and in their house is like all this certain way, and then I'm just like, I'm not that white, you know. Someone that listens to metal isn't quite white as someone that's just sitting there listening to their conservative talk radio and going to church on Sunday. You know, got their kids in magnet school.
I'm pretty sure even if you are a metalhead and all that other stuff, if you could get your kids into the magnet program, you would do that, right? I mean, it seems logical. Like, if my kid qualified for a magnet program, guess what?
Would you take family photos that look like a fucking meme?
I would not. I don't take a whole lot of photos of myself in general. It's just a personal thing. I don't really dig looking at myself. And it's like,
you're gonna get up there on that Snapchat, make yourself a lady.
I think that whole thing is fucking stupid. Okay. So let's go ahead and start the show because we got to do this.
The Scarcasm.
What's up, y'all?
We're live.
It's Scarcasm. We live. I think that Snapchat shit is fucking stupid. And like the amount of grown ass men doing the women thing is like really kind of weird, because like some of the people who are doing this are the same people who don't get are like so like against the whole idea of transgender and all of this kind of stuff. And then like you're doing this thing where you're making yourself a woman, and then like your own homeboys are talking about how they'd fuck. And it's like, and then like when something comes up with the LGBT in that sphere, like they act like they don't like I don't fucking understand that shit, blah blah blah, whatever. But like, yo, you're using a Snapchat filter to basically take their whole steez, and it's a joke to you. Like, these are these people's lives, and like this is a fucking joke to you. And like, you know what? I think it's different for me, right? Because I have a little sister, and like I have 4 sisters. One of them is a stepsister, but I have 3 biological sisters. And my younger sister, the one that's right under me, is the only one where her and I share of both parents. And so I know what I look like if I was a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to do this because I know, like, in crazy as it sounds, my sister's name is Michelle. So I know exactly what I would look like as a woman being Michael. I know what I would look like as a woman because I have a walking, talking example named Michelle.
And you also know what you look like as a little girl too.
Well, see, here's the thing about Pooh Bear. A lot of people see me in Pooh Bear. I see her mother, more than I see me. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people say that she looks just like me. I don't see it, but like a lot of people do. So that's a thing. Like, maybe that's on y'all. That's not on me. Like, maybe y'all see that, but I always said that I was rooting for Pooh Bear to look like me, because, hopefully I would scare away the boys. But see, here's the thing. I'm not there anymore. So it's a little bit of a different situation. I always said, if this is what I wanted to do for her first date, I wanted her, if she went on her first date, I need an itinerary of everywhere y'all gonna be tonight. And guess who's just going to happen to be there? And like, not that I'm just going to be there in the way, but like go somewhere to eat. And guess what? I might be there too. Or like go see a movie or something. Guess who's sitting all the way in the back, making sure everything's straight. You know, like that type of shit. Like I'm not there to fuck with you, but I am there to make sure that this thing goes smoothly. And there's one thing that Pooh Bear has to agree on for her first date. She has to wear a shirt with my face on it going. And my face has to be on her shirt at all times.
And you can easily get those made now with like shit like Cafe Press and like Represent and stuff.
Know what I'm saying? Like, so like that's like, you want to go on your first date? Cool. I need to know where you're gonna be, so I can always be somewhere close. I don't have to be in the same place where you go. I just want to be somewhere close just in case. And you have to wear a t-shirt with my face on it. And I've always said that. And that is a little bit different because, you know, she lives in Baltimore now, and that's not really easy for me to do. But
well, if you gave her the shirt, then you know, you could be there.
No, I'll just send Rob. Like Rob can do it.
No, you give Rob a scarfinger mask.
No, because then it's gonna look like the Halloween mask, and like that's supposed to be William Shatner. That'll look nothing like William Shatner.
It would look scarier, and he's not going to paint it white. That would be kind of fucked up.
You know what? That painting it white will make it look scarier. Like my face painted white in a mask form probably will look a lot scarier. Man, let me tell you. This last week or so has been absolutely no joke. I talked about last week, my ongoing health, not issues, but like me trying to rectify my health issues. And like, I had another appointment this week, and they just keep prescribing me more and more stuff. And bruh, most days I just don't feel right. They told me that with a lot of this stuff, I'm not going to feel right for like the first 2 weeks. Well, they keep adding more stuff. So like this 2 weeks is going to end up being much longer than 2 weeks because they keep adding more stuff. Now, I will say I do not feel, I'm not getting a lot of the things that led me to go to this specialist. But I just feel tired. Sometimes I feel spacey. It's just kind of weird. But the thing about it is like, man, this shit is expensive. Like, yo, I'm gonna say this to the people, man. And if you can, take care of your shit right now. Take care of your shit right now before you're forced to go to fucking specialists and shit to get this shit taken care of. I didn't. And that was absolutely a fucking mistake by me because this shit, and it's like, it's not even like I have something like serious like cancer or something like that. It's just trying to get my blood sugar back where it should be has been absolutely horrendous, as opposed to like, you know, if I would have just took care of this shit when I first got it and I didn't subscribe to the magic pill theory, like maybe I could have got all this taken care of and it would have cost me far less money. Maybe if I would have got up and did a little bit more and not just sat around playing video games and podcasting all the time, like I might have, you know, done something better about my weight, which would have made all of this better. But like, you know, if you can do something about your health situation before you have to get a whole bunch of doctors involved, do that shit. Because, bruh, like I feel like I'm spending so much money. Like my co-pays to go to the specialist are $100 each, and that's before they do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's before they do anything. That's me walking in the door. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But you know something? I did have a situation that happened last time I went to the doctor. And I tell this story just as a way of saying, you know, if you could do something to help somebody, you should. Not because I want any recognition or anything like that from this. And I've only told one other person this. I told my girl this, and I only told her because of, because it was just on my heart. And but I didn't want like someone to be like, "Oh, you did a good thing," and some shit like that. So I go to the doctor, and I go and I walk in the door, and right there in front of the door is this brother, and he is a large brother. He's not like a big fat dude. Like, he a little bit fat. He's kind of like my kind of fat, but he's a lot taller and a lot broader of a guy than I am.
Right.
And this dude, he speaks. I speak to him like, "Hey, what's going on, brother?" But he looks like he's in pain. Like something is really wrong here. And he looks like he's in pain. So I just speak to him, and like nothing happens. And I sit down, and this specialist is usually a whole bunch of like really old white people around, like gray haired white people. Like not like, not like 50-year-old white people. I'm talking about like white people with like
senator white people.
senator white people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? One of the guys that I'm going to talk about, he does look like he's a senator in his off. He was just in his off time. So I walk in, and I pay my money, and I'm joking, being my normal self, and I sit down, and there's two other white dudes that are sitting across from me, and one of the dudes gets he gets called back, so he goes back. So now it's just the three of us in the office. I mean, the three of us in the lobby, and they're talking to the brother, and they said that they can't help him because he's behind on some sort of payment, and he looks distraught. Like, he looks like his world is ending. And he, what happened? Oh, and so they're talking to him, and they're basically telling him like he owes some money, and I have no idea what's going on right now. But they're basically telling him that he owes some money, and because he owes the money, they can't really do anything to help him right now. And he is like on the verge of tears. And he says like his blood sugar is like 600, which is astronomical. Like, I mean, like when I was feeling bad, like really bad, and my feet were hurting and all that kind of stuff, mine was 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like this is whatever's
3 is
happening.
like when you're like, you have high freaking blood pressure, like really fucking high. 600 is like you're about to die.
Yes. But she's like talking to him, and she says that he has to put something on it. If he can just put like 25 on it or something like that, then they would be able to at least start the process of helping him. So I'm sitting there, and I hear this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, he looks like he's in pain. I should do something. Like, at the very least, I can pay the 25, because that's, for him, this would mean everything. For me, that's 2 days of lunch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I get up to do it. So I get up, and I speak to him, and I say, they said you need $25 to get what you need done. And he was like, "Yeah, but I don't have it. Like, I just don't have it." Like, so I guess something happened to him or something like that. And he just didn't have it, but his blood sugar is crazy. I think he kind of mentions like he had a house fire or something like that, and he just doesn't have anything. So I said, "No worries." So I turn around to the lady, and I say, "I'd like to pay the $25 so that he can actually get what he needs." And the lady looks at me and was like, "You sure you want to pay this?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I mean, you just said that he needs the money. He just said that he's not in a good situation. Like, I will pay the $25. And this is after me having to pay my $100 copay. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I'm real, like, for real, like, I don't really want to spend this money, but like, if I'm in a situation to help this dude in any way, shape, or form, I should do it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, all right, I'll do it. And then the other gentleman who was just sitting there reading the newspaper. This tells you how old he was. He was reading the newspaper for real.
Yeah.
He comes up and he pulls some money out and he said, "Can you add this to it?" Like, and like during this thing, like none of us exchanged names or anything like that. We are doing this purely because this dude looks like he needs some help and we are in a position to help.
Mm-hmm.
So they go and they take the money, and instead of running the card and taking the money, they the one lady kind of goes to the back, like goes behind the office out of camera. So I walk to the guy and, I kind of, give him a pat on his, rub his back a little bit. And I just tell him like, you're going to be okay. Like, I don't know how much this will actually help you, but if it can get you what you need, like you're going to be all right. You know what I mean? Like, and like doing this, and he's like crying at this point, and he's just like, thank you. I don't know what I was going to do, like that type of stuff. And both me and the other gentleman, the newspaper dude, we both say like, yo, we've both been here before. And like I've been there before where I lost my insurance. I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do just to survive at this point. So we have that moment, between him and I of that solidarity. Like we both been here before. So like if we're in a position to help, we should do that. So the lady comes back from the back and she hands me back my card and she hands that gentleman back back his cash. And she's just like, you know what? This is a incredible act of generosity, but I think we can help him. We can deal with this. And so like me and the other gentleman, like neither one of us feels really good about that. Like, she's just like, we got it. We'll deal with it. And like, neither one of us feels really good about it at all. And, so like he starts putting the money back and I go back to sit down and neither one of us feels good about it at all. So both of us almost at the same time, one after each other, turn around, and I don't typically carry cash. Mm-hmm. But I had some cash because a coworker wanted to order some juice and like I was using my card. So she gave me the cash. So I just pull out the cash that she gave me from my pocket. And this gentleman gives the cash that he was already putting towards this thing. And we both hand it to him and we both say the same thing. Like, if this can help you in any way, shape or form, that I hope it can help you get what you need. And I mean, it was something that it felt good to do something for somebody. But it was not anything that I did because I wanted some recognition or anything like that. I did put on Facebook, like, if you're in a position to help somebody, something small to you could mean the world to somebody. And if you're in a position to do that, then you should do it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, but I didn't know what it was. I figured that there was something behind that, but I didn't know what it was from.
Yeah, because I didn't want to put the full story behind it, because the last thing I wanted was for people to say, oh, you did a good thing and like talk me up. Like the lady there, one of the ladies behind the counter said, you know what? She said, you got a blessing coming your way. And I said, I don't need a blessing. Obviously he needs whatever kind of blessing that he can get right now. And that was the point. The point was to do something for him. It wasn't because I was expecting something to come back to me.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why I didn't actually say everything on Facebook, because I did that right after all of this stuff happened. I was just kind of sitting in the room and I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to say anything because before I actually told anybody anything, I wanted if I had any impulse of wanting to take credit for being a good dude that day, like I wanted that to go away. And it's just like, nope, I saw a situation where I could help and I helped, you know what I mean? And I didn't want it to be anything more than that. But so I wanted to let that sit for a few days, and that was Wednesday. So I'm pretty sure it's been a couple of days. So any like real like recognition that I would get for a situation like that, no one cares at this point because, you know, the you know, our country is kind of exploding with the whole abortion thing, which I think is hilarious because didn't we talk about that last week? Was it last week?
I think so.
Yeah. And then like all of this shit happened this week and it's just like, whew, I'm glad I got that out before all of this shit happened. But yeah, I saw an opportunity to help and I did. And I think that if any of you are in the same type of situation and you can help somebody, then please do. Like I said, that little bit of money that I put on that, even though I had just paid $100 copay, that little bit of money didn't mean a whole lot to me. You know, it was just money and it was just lunch for the next 2 days. You know, I could spend up to $15 just on lunch. So like, what's the, you know, like I could hit up a dollar menu for the next 2 days and be okay. But this dude needed something and I think it was, I don't know whether some people will say it's God, some people will say it's a lot of things, but something put me in the position to help, and I'm glad I could.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, but healthcare is a motherfucker, though.
Yeah,
bro. Like I said, like what was happening with me and me worrying about $100 copay, and this dude couldn't pay for anything, and he really needed help. Like healthcare is a motherfucker, and like. I really wish this whole healthcare thing was a lot easier. I could have made it easier on myself by taking care of myself better, but I made that mistake and now I'm paying for those mistakes. How's your week?
been pretty good. Aiden is having a birthday party tomorrow. His birthday is on Tuesday, but I normally work on Tuesdays and it's also like a school night, but I was wanting to do the birthday party today. That would be a Sunday and everything. My mom couldn't make it to it today, so we're doing it tomorrow, which isn't exactly what I wanted, but it's better than it would be than taking off, you know. And my dad gave him his present early, which was a Sonic like thing. But
like a statue or like an action figure,
like a plushie, but it's more like a collectible plushie.
Okay.
But then I saw there's a site called Fanatical, which is sort of like Humble a little bit, or like those kind of sites. But they had the entire Sega collection for like $7, which if you bought every game individually, it'd been like $200. But so
I have some sort of Sega collection on Steam. They gave one away for free. I don't know how much of it is in here, but I do have one.
it might have been the same one because it's like the Sega Mega Collection. It has like pretty much, all the Sonics, like Golden Axe and
I have the
Altered Beast and all those kind of games,
Yeah, it's the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics.
Yeah, that's the one I got for him.
Okay.
So he was liking that. Plus the like menu is kind of cool because it's like a virtual room. So you actually go to a shelf, click the game you want, and it puts it into a Sega console. And then you're playing it onto like a little virtual TV. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I did actually use my Steam link.
Oh yeah? How'd that work out?
Okay. Just okay.
It's okay?
Just okay. I used a controller.
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't really find a whole lot of my games that were actually like controller support. So I ended up playing like a match of Killing Floor by myself. Of course, my connection is shit. So, I'm wireless from this PC. So this is where all of that stuff was coming from. So it worked okay. I don't know whether it would really work in like a real multiplayer setting.
Well,
But
I wouldn't want to use it for that anyway. I mean, I don't really play a lot of those type of games anymore at all. You know what I mean? So, it the thing that I would say is, well, in when you're in big picture mode, you can also go to a filter, and you can filter out games that aren't controller support, and then but some games will have controller support, even though they still have the keyboard symbol. Just they
yeah,
might not.
like I saw the thing where you can enable it. You go to the settings and you enable what kind of controller you're using. For
Mhm.
me, I was using the Xbox One controller, and you could enable that, and then you can go into it. And if someone has already made a profile, it says like you can use this, but it's still going to have the keyboard prompts on the TV.
Right? Yeah, and
Um,
because you
so
can even because I did it one time to where you can use the filter to filter out every game that has local co-op. So all those kind of 2D beat 'em up games that I have, it would put them all together that for having a party or something. Because those type of games, those kind of Double Dragon type games, are perfect for having people over. It's like
yeah, I heard they are going to be making a modern adaptation of Streets of Rage, and it's still going to be a side scroller. I wasn't really a Genesis person, so I mean, but I play a little bit of Genesis, but not really a whole lot.
yeah,
But I think it's cool that they're actually going to do that because the last time they actually did it, made a game like that was the Scott Pilgrim game, right?
yeah.
Which I hated Scott Pilgrim, the movie. I know nerds love Scott Pilgrim, but we had this discussion. I just don't love Scott Pilgrim.
Well, I haven't. I mean, I didn't grow up with it, so I didn't really care. But I did like the game. I thought the game well done for a beat 'em up game. I but I've never really seen the movie, and I've only read a little bit of the comic. I just never really cared.
The movie is why I don't like it, and I think the movie is a pretty decent adaptation. So that means I probably wouldn't like the comics either.
Right. But I mean, there's other Streets of Rage games out that are indie games and stuff. But Streets of Rage and Double Dragon are kind of the grandfathers of that whole thing. So it'd be kind of cool to see Streets of Rage in a modern
Nah,
setting.
son. Before somebody correct Chase, we know River City Ransom is up there.
I didn't say that was the only. I said
You
are.
said it was the grandfather. Grandfather is River City Ransom. Double Dragon was the one that got big. And in motherfucking Bad Dudes. You know how much money I put into Bad Dudes in the arcade?
I don't want to know.
I mean, a lot. I'll just say a lot. Not as much as I put into Shinobi Arcade, though.
Hmm.
Shinobi Arcade, where they had the little mini game where you throw the ninja stars up the screen, yo. That was my shit. I wanted to be a fucking ninja so bad, bro. I mean, I really wanted to be a ninja with that because, I was always wondering where the fuck all of those ninja stars came from. Because it's just you're constantly just tapping the button, throwing out ninja stars, doing that little mini game. I don't know how it is in the actual console version, but in the arcade version, yeah, those mini games were dope.
Well, I think there's new versions of River City Ransom, aren't there? At least one coming out.
It's possible. I mean, it's not. I mean, all of this shit you can find it on the Switch because the Switch is full of all of these fucking, these what do they call it, pixel art, kind of games where it's kind of throwbacks to NES and SNES era. But it's just a ton of that shit on the Switch store. Like
If
an
if
absolute ton.
Katana Zero is on the Switch, that would be the game I have on the Switch. That game's badass. And it's kind of a pixel art game, but it's just like super bloody. It's just so addictive.
Yeah, I'm just not. I don't really care about pixel art. Like, I'm just not really about that life. And it's like, something that I discovered a long time ago. A long time ago, I went to play some Rayman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I don't give a shit about side scrollers anymore. Like, I could not care less about side scrollers anymore. And it wasn't like Rayman wasn't well made. I just didn't give a fuck no more. Like, I tried. Actually, I tried to play that game because of Game Enthuse, and I just couldn't. And actually, Katana Zero is on the Switch.
Cool. It's just fun, man. Like, if you're like just have nothing to do and you just want to go kill a bunch of dudes in like slow motion, it's just fun.
But I'm like absolutely not using my Switch right now. Like, my Switch has been in the case inside of my bag for I don't know how long. I'm just not
using it a lot at work at one point.
I wanted to, and then like work started picking up, or like everybody will be like fucking around on Facebook and stuff like that. But like I'm answering the phone, like doing shit, so I don't really have the time that I needed that I would need to spend to do this. So it's just one of those things. I do want Saints Row for the Switch, but my problem is going to be just like everything else. I have muscle memory from playing Saints Row on the Xbox, and that muscle memory goes away when those buttons are flipped around. So like I can't really play a bunch of games that I would play in that setting because those buttons being flipped around really fuck me up. Yeah. Like really, really, it's bad. Like, so I just can't do it. And that was one of the problems that I had. Like, I was really enjoying playing South Park, but like those buttons being in the wrong place just bothered the shit out of me, especially when you have to like, like when you go to do a move, there's a point where you can, set up your recovery stuff, but you have to do a button press at the right time. And like having to think about where the A button is in order to do that was just it didn't work as well as if I was playing on Xbox and I know exactly where the A button is,
Now see, what they should have did is see the PlayStation has triangles and squares and shit, and then the Xbox has like X's and A's and shit. They should have thought of something completely different than those two, like have numbers. Where if it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, then you wouldn't have to remember where A was and stuff, because you would think, you would map in your mind when you see 1, you're pressing A.
Right. And has everybody ever told you about the Xbox 360 thing on the PlayStation?
What?
Yeah. There's an Xbox 360 on the PlayStation.
Really?
X button, square, in the circle. Xbox 360.
Wow.
Yeah. On your PlayStation. I heard that they're going to start doing, Microsoft and Sony are going to collaborate on some cloud computing things. I think that's kind of cool. But like before y'all start doing all this cloud computing shit, can we get crossplay first? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a big deal that y'all are like collaborating on this cloud computing thing so you can combat what Google is doing. But like, can we get crossplay first? Like, that's all. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I want first. And like, There's so many companies that said that it's done and it's ready to go. It's just
they need to do crossplay on something that's not lame like Fortnite. It's like the only game that's crossplay is freaking Fortnite.
Yeah, you know what? I would love for. Well, I mean, but like Rocket League is crossplay. It's just not with Microsoft.
They need to get this whole crossplay thing figured out before Borderlands 3 comes out.
No, I think they need to figure it out now with the Division. Like everybody who I know who's playing the Division is all over the place, and like at least like they both need to be able to connect with the PC because I don't want to have to buy another copy of this. And like for the first Division game, I own 3 versions, and I don't want to do that again. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Just make it cross play. I already pay for.
I keep hearing people that are playing on PC, and then I don't see them. And by the time they're getting on, I'm like not on. I'm working, or I'm, just too tired. Like I'm pretty sure that by the time I get off work, AZ Rockslide's just getting on because he's in freaking Arizona,
Right.
But I'm freaking dead tired and don't want to get on something that I have to think.
Right.
So I've kind of I haven't really been playing the Division at all, so I'm like super low level.
Yeah, I get to play every once in a while. Not as often as well, I wouldn't say not as often as I should, or I play more than I probably should. But see, here's the thing. They just came out with the raid, and they said the raid is next to impossible to do on console. Like you have to have like a super coordinated team and everybody has to know their role and what they're going to do. Like they posted a thing where someone finally got through the raid and it took them 36 hours. 36 hours.
Well, that sounds like a real raid. Cause that was the people that came from MMOs, like actual MMOs like WoW and stuff. That was their gripes with Destiny, to where they were like, yeah, the raids were fun, but what they knew a raid was is something that you had to dedicate a lot of time to get done. Not just if I figure it out, I can do it in a couple hours.
Yeah, apparently, the first people to do it on console, it took 36 hours. Somebody has gotten that down to 17 hours. I ain't got that kind of fucking time.
But the thing is, the raid is there. You don't have to do the raid, but if you wanted to, there's you some real, thick, juicy content to do if you really didn't have anything else to do.
I have never finished a raid in any of these games. I have never finished a raid. I had only done a raid with Destiny one time, and I have never actually finished a raid.
They were fun, but you definitely, even with Destiny, had to have a good team that you, for one, enjoyed everybody that was playing, and they all enjoyed you, and that if the best people that I did raids with are people that were really good at it, but also didn't take it so seriously. So where if people were struggling, they had the patience and whatnot, but they also knew to raid the back of their hand. And that was the summer before the Rise of Iron came out. When I was playing with Pimp a lot and stuff. Because I think the people that I was playing with were his people.
Right. That's the only time I did a raid. Him and his friends. We tried the first raid that all of them claimed that they knew the back of their hand and they could get through this easily. But they were the ones who were dying. And I'm just well, I'm over here with my fusion rifle and we handling business. What's going on here?
Because I think one of them were named Vlad's, but it wasn't Vlad, the OFR Vlad. I don't know if you remember that name.
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Okay. But I remember that being one of the main dudes. And they were all super really good at it, but they were also really patient, to where we would always have, sometimes we just had a checkpoint at the boss and alright, let's go beat the boss, and we would do it and everybody knew what they needed to do. But if we fucked up, you're alright, let's start over. It's no big deal.
Right.
So that was the best time. But to find a group like that is really tough. That's a blessing to find a group
shit.
That.
What kind of group do you have to have in order for you to be able to do a raid for 36 hours?
a bunch of people that don't have jobs.
Yeah, I think so for the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's also like I don't think it had to be like the same. I don't think it was like the same people over and over again. But like some people could have came in and out. But like, yeah, that's a long fucking time. And I know I've heard of like shit like those Final Fantasy. Was it 15? That's the MMO. Like shit, like taking days and stuff like that to get through. And
I
I'm
think
just like,
that was 14.
is it 14? Yeah. See, I don't know Final Fantasy.
Right.
That's why I asked. Yeah, I'm just not that. I'm just not that guy. Like I don't really want to spend that much time. Now I spend way more time than I should in the division right now, but I kind of cut a lot of that out. So when I play, I'm just like, yo, I am going to be here for a certain amount of time, and once we get finished with this shit, I am done. So, and that's pretty much what I did today. I was painting today, and I had to charge my phone. So I was like, okay, so after we do this mission, I am out. So yeah, and what I've been playing, just real quick, what I've been playing that. I played a smidge of City Skylines, but I've watched way more because I'm watching different people. I'm watching different people play so I can have like a different perspective of how to play. And then, like I said, I played like one mission by myself of Killing Floor, but I haven't done a whole lot else. The other night I sang Rock Band.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing, so I sang some Rock Band for a bit. So I did that for a minute.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. I kind of, like I've been feeling bad. One day I just kind of felt good. I had a song stuck in my head, and I was like, you know what? I want to sing this. So I started singing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I think next time that we all get together that we should do some Rock Band. I'm not very good at it, but that's cool. Rock Band could be a good extra life thing.
Okay.
We can all play instruments, get Max to sing.
No, I do the singing. I do the singing.
Right.
Actually, I'm pretty good at it, but I ended up singing because like nobody knew the songs. So I ended up doing it, but like it was one of those things to where it's like once I started doing it, because I'm typically the drummer, and so but like we get to certain songs and nobody wants to sing, and I'm just like, even if I'm terrible at this, which I'm not, like I might as well just be the one to do it.
Right. So but yeah, I been playing some Far Cry 5. I just got a hankering to do that.
A hankering?
Yeah, hankering. I mean, that kind of fits that game. I've been fishing a lot. Fishing is like kind of relaxing in that game, but it's also like the absolute best way to make money. Because there's a river kind of near the bottom of the map. You can hold 5 of the same fish at the same time in your inventory. But if you get the perk where you up your inventory, you can hold 10. But then that's just the stacks at the same time. So if you go to the different spots down that river, you can just like go down this way, get $6,000 worth of fish, go down this way, and then sell it down here. Go down this way, get another 6,000. Then pretty much you got enough to get pretty much some good guns, good everything, just by catching fish. But
well, with the old one, was it 4 or 3? I think it was 4, where it was like, before you play the game, just go and hunt all of these animals and then make all of the cool shit. Then the game will be a lot easier.
Yeah, that was both 3 and 4. Because I mean, 2 kind of changed the game because 1 just kind of sucked. I mean, it just wasn't good. But 2 like made it kind of like what it is now. In a way, the whole like sandboxy type deal. But 3 is pretty much just building off 3 now, which I like. I mean, people are like, "Oh, it's the same thing," but when you like that same thing, I mean, I like taking down the outpost and doing the clearing out the map and stuff. It's kind of like if they changed that, it wouldn't be the game I like. I mean, it's just so.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it, but it's not my it is not the game. It's definitely just me.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I was what else have you been into? I will say real quickly that the DC TV shows are all ending. I think the ending of Flash and Arrow happened. And like Supergirl is supposed to be ending today, but like this is like the worst day to do a fucking ending for your season because it's the same day of the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Right.
The very last episode of Game of Thrones, which I don't watch Game of Thrones, but like people who care about Game of Thrones, of course, like they can watch Game of Thrones. They can give a shit about no fucking Supergirl.
Yeah, and it's funny, like HBO's gonna have to do something because when Game of Thrones ends, how many HBO subscriptions are also going to end?
Well, what they do is like tomorrow you tomorrow you announce that you're going to do those spin-offs that you have spoken about for quite some time. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's talks that there are Game of Thrones spin-offs and all of that kind of stuff. Make sure that you let people know that shit is coming.
That winter is. But I saw Endgame.
We talked about that last week.
Oh, we did?
Yes, we did.
Oh.
Have you seen it again?
No.
I kind of want to watch it again.
I'm getting my weeks messed up. Well, I definitely want to go back and watch some of it. But
yeah, that's another thing. I did watch the like I said, I went back and I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp because it was on Netflix. I have to see Iron Man 3. I definitely have to see Iron Man 3, and I have to see there's another one that I missed. Oh, I haven't seen Captain Marvel that I feel like I should go back and see, even though she wasn't in the movie a lot. I just feel like I missed a decent amount.
right.
So yeah, so there's a few that I need to go back and see. But I think the most important one to go back and see is Iron Man 3 because, you know, Pepper showed up in a suit and I'm just like, where the fuck did any of this shit happen?
Right.
Yeah. So, and like, even when like, it didn't quite register, like a lot of people were saying, well, you know, his daughter was playing with the thing near the beginning of the movie. And I'm just like, oh, and he said he made her a suit and she never used it. And I never thought anything about it. And then she showed up at the end and they go back to back for a second. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, when did she get a suit? And most of all, when did she know how to use it?
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. Apparently she used a little something in Iron Man 3. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I still think that's an incredibly well done movie. And like, we're not going to see anything on that level for quite some time.
Right.
Like a culmination of over 20 fucking movies all leading to that one thing. Like, so we're not going to see anything like that for quite some time. But on a personal level, I don't rank it that high because, like, outside of everything that you know about all of the other movies, as a singular movie, it probably won't hold up well to repeat viewings. Kind of like the first Avengers. The first Avengers was amazing the first time, but give it a couple months and watch the Avengers again, and you're just kind of like, okay, all right. I mean, I guess, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt watching the Avengers again, even though it is one of my favorite movies because I'm a Joss Whedon stan. But, yeah.
You're a Josh Whedon stan?
Yeah. You don't know what a stan is?
Thought you just accidentally said stan is it?
No, we started calling people stands after the Eminem song, where you got a fan that's a little bit too overboard.
Oh, okay.
So I stand for Joss Whedon. How about that?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? I was supposed to make another painting today. I don't know if it's actually gonna get done. Actually, the painting might get done. I don't really know about the video.
Well, I was thinking about doing a spin-off show. I thought about it for a while. Well, actually, when the Future Monkeys like stopped their the first time, because I was like, well, you know, there's a lot of these people that like haven't like done a thing in a while, and then they came back all of a sudden, and then I was like, oh, well, they're doing their thing again, and then they did like 3 episodes, and they're like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. So I was like, yeah, I think I might do something, just maybe just have a guest or so, and not really have it be like a regular thing. Just kind of like, I don't know, but I haven't done it yet, so it's just I just been sitting on the thing for a while. I don't even know if I even get around to doing it, but if I do, definitely want it to be part of the GGR.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Sam? Oh,
really? Really?
Yeah. It sounded pretty natural, didn't it? Like,
I hate everything right now. I hate everything right now. All right, so that's the show. And this is Sarcasm. That's Chase. Thank y'all for checking your boys out. This month is shaping up to be pretty decent again. I dig it. We are already pretty much close to what the total was for March, and we're halfway through the month. So that's dope. And yeah, man, we're going to be back. Chase is actually going to do the show that he was supposed to do and send it to me.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Been thinking about my because it's kind of hard when you really think about it. It's not like your favorite games, the ones that you keep going back to. It's like kind of like it's your meat and potatoes. Like you might not want to eat potatoes all the time, but for some reason, when you do, you're like,
or is it that you can't put Persona on?
No, because I haven't played Persona in like a year.
But it is a game you keep coming back to.
Well, yeah.
No Persona. I didn't put no Mass Effect. You didn't put no Persona.
I'll just put NBA Live for everything.
Okay, that works. You should totally try that. It's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I should.
Yep. All right, so that's the show. Again, I appreciate all of y'all for a myriad of reasons, but just the fact that you spent some time with us. We appreciate y'all. And we'll be back with more creamy goodness in your ear holes.
We're going to be putting mayonnaise in your ear holes.
I'm not white. I don't really do a whole lot of mayonnaise. Like, that's not really my jam.
Just eggs and oil. Very simple.
Nah, we good. Like, I don't really do a whole lot of mayonnaise in general, so I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
I mean, on a Chick-fil-A sandwich, do you put mayonnaise or ketchup?
Polynesian? What are you talking about, bro? Like, Polynesian on a Chick-fil-A? You know, this is there is no more damn discussion. Like,
I accept that.
I know people who do the Chick-fil-A sauce or whatever like that. No, the answer is Polynesian. You put Polynesian on your sandwich.
I accept that.
You have to.
Do you have pickles on it?
Of course. Like, no self-respected Southerner doesn't want fucking pickles on this chicken sandwich. Like, I mean, I may not talk like it, but damn it, I'm Southern. I mean, I know people who don't like pickles. Like, my girl don't like pickles on her sandwich or whatever like that. But no, fuck that shit. Look. You gotta keep your pickles, dude. You got to.
Sometimes I don't want them on my sandwich. I'll take them off and eat.
That's not how this goes. Nope, not at all. Nope. We gotta wrap up on that. Polynesian is the best. Keep your pickles, bruh. On the sandwich. On the sandwich. Should I call the episode On The Sandwich?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. Alright, that's the episode. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling. All right, I ain't gonna talk.
Also, On The Sandwich sounds like a really good name for like a cooking show that's like about sandwiches, and we go to it's like a Guy Fieri type show, but it's just me and you on the sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you still broadcasting?
Well, yeah, for a second, but oh, I wanted to ask you something. You said
Okay.
pro chase. Are you like the professional version of me, or are you just like really supportive of me?
I'm really supportive of you, and I didn't want to put that I was pro-choice.
Because that would be political.
It would be inflammatory in this current political climate. So I put on pro-chase. I could have like went like really dark with it about like, I'm pro Chase being here because Chase could have been aborted, like some shit like that. Like I didn't want to do that. So, so like,
All right.